Hey guys, this is Andrew here, Andrew Foster. Today, I'm gonna make a little tutorial because I feel like it, and because I have recently been pissed off on YouTube for looking at for a tutorial that has to do with envelopes on Corel Draw X6. Um, Pretty much, I've been practicing up on Corel Draw because it's something that I need to learn, and um, I've been watching a lot of video tutorials on YouTube about how to do certain things and etc. Um, and I tried to look up a tutorial for how to do custom envelopes and custom lettering and stuff like that because that's something that I needed to learn, and I couldn't find anything that was really that great. And the only one that I found that I was able to actually get anything out of, the guy missed a whole bunch of key steps that were vital to what you were doing. And I was sitting here messing around for about 30 minutes trying to figure out what to do. So I figured I would save everyone a little bit of time and pain by creating a little tutorial that would be complete, that you'll be able to see all the steps. So I'm just going to make something that looks a little bit like this, and hopefully if you gain something out of this video, just like it or whatever. And the only reason I'm really creating this is so if I forget, I can look back at what I did. I'm like, oh. So okay, so I'm gonna create a new file here. Just gonna go blah, and let's see, there's this page size. Alright, so the first thing that you need to do when creating custom text is pretty much create an envelope for your text to fit inside. And whenever you need are going to fit your text inside of an envelope, usually you need a shape. And depending on what you're doing, you could be fitting the shape inside something, or putting the shape somewhere specific. So you might need it in a specific shape. So I'm not going to do the oval tool or anything like that because that's kind of cheap way of cheating. I'm going to make a custom shape, and I'll show you how to do that really fast and easy on Corel. It's really easy. I just kind of figured this out. So pretty much you have this tool over here. It includes several tools. Freehand line, it's your line tool. Freehand line tool, 2-point line, Bezier, artistic media pen, B-spline, etc. This is basically what you're going to use in any situation to create a custom shape inside Corel. Freehand, obviously, if you're going to draw something in by hand. 2-point line for straight lines, 3-point curve for easy curves. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a 3-point curve for the top of our custom lettering envelope, if you will. So to create a 3-point curve, it's really easy. You just drag between two places and then you curve it. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag from this side of the page over to this side of the page. Real simple, easy. Try to make it as straight as possible, and then you're going to click. Let go of your mouse. Oh yeah, by the way, you're going to have to hold down your mouse key when you're dragging if you didn't know that already. So after that, we're going to curve it up and try to, again, make it as straight as possible. You can look on here on the top where it is. I'm not really paying attention to that much, so there is a grid on the side that tells you where your mouse is, and that comes in handy if you want to be really super specific. But me, I'm just kind of doing a quickie job. So I'm just going to kind of aim for the center, click, and there's your 3-point line, and it's perfectly curved to make an arc. So this is really useful for when you're making arced crap, because if you get real into kerning and stuff and shape warping, it can become a little bit bumpy, and you don't want that because it doesn't look professional. So what you do now is you come over to your pick tool. You also have a freehand pick, but we're going to just use the regular pick. I never have used the freehand pick. I'm still learning, so I'm sure it has a use, but I'm not quite familiar with it yet. We're going to select this right here, and we're going to go copy and paste. So now there's actually two of those curves right there. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to hold shift when we drag this shape down. Oops. Maybe I didn't. No, I don't think I copy paste. Man, Just learned this a second ago, and I already forgot. Oh, there we go. Wasn't dragging for some reason. Alright, so now we're going to drag this down, and pay attention to your width on the sides too. You see the space between the top arc and the bottom arc? That's how big your lettering is going to be inside there. So we're going to pay attention to how much space is there. We're going to make it like, maybe like this. Right about there. That's good. So now you'll see we'll have two identical arcs, one on top of the other. This is what we want because we're going to place our text inside those two arcs. But first, I want to create more of an oval design with two capped ends. So what we're going to do is really easy. We're just going to go like this. Whoop. Right like there. Try to match the top one. I'm not going to be perfect here. It looks pretty good, right? You see the basic shape forming. So now what we're going to do is we need to make these connect to each other, or like we need to connect these two arcs together, and in order to do that you need to be able to convert the two arcs into the same object, because in order to cap off the ends of your little design here, or your shape, you need to be able to draw a line off of the original shape here. So, and you need to be able to connect it to both arcs, because if you don't have them both the same shape, it's only going to connect to one shape and it gets a little bit messy and then it gets complicated. So what we're going to do is we're going to press hold down shift and click on that one too, and it selects both shapes. Then we're going to come up here to our handy dandy weld tool. It's located right here. You have a whole bunch of other ones as well. And we're going to click weld, and that creates one shape. Oh wow, there's another line here. Alright, so that creates one shape that we can use to create our design in. We're almost there. What we need to do now is we need to go back over to our 3-point line tool and convert it to 2-point line tool. And what you'll see when I hover over this, there's a little arrow coming on that point. That means you're going to connect it to that line. I never knew that until recently. Came in handy. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect it to that line. Hold down your left button on your mouse. Come down until it shows that symbol again, and now your end's capped off. And all we have to do is do the same thing on this side. It's real simple, easy, and voila. There is your basic shape. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make that shape look like something. It's just not going to be like a weird sort of oblong oval capped thing in the middle of your page just white. We're going to make it, we're going to fill it in with color. So since it's one object, we can fill it in with color. So what we're going to do is we're going to go like this, smart fill, and then that, and you can see it converts to any color you want. So we're going to make it kind of a dark gray color like that. Alright. So then what we're going to do is we're going to make an outline around this. And in order to do that, it's really simple and easy on Corel. What you do is you come over to this tab down here. It is 5 up from the bottom if you have it set on default. You're going to do this, and it'll be called contour. This will create a line around the outside that makes it pop. Usually, you know, if you have a light on the inside and a dark on the outside, or dark on the inside and light on the outside, it kind of makes it pop a little bit. It makes it look cool, and you know, it's just, you know, personal preference. Just make something that stands out or something. Well, let's make this line red. Oh, that's pink. Woo! Let's make it red, red, red. Oh, maybe a darker. Or, I want like red. Let's see. Let's go over to here. Aha. Whoa. That's not what I want. Hold on one second. That dark gray again. Let's come over here and let's just make it. I'm still new at this program, guys, so thanks for bearing with me. I like sharing what I've learned, though. It's a lot of fun. So now you got an outline around it, and you can edit the outline by going like this. Make it wider, really wide, super skinny, you know, whatever you want. Let's make it a little bit wider than that. This being a jerk right now. Come on. There we go. Alright, So that's going to be our basic shape. It's even colored and everything. Now we'll be able to drag this shape wherever we want. It is a shape. Alright. So now, I think it needs a little bit of a drop shadow. I like to do this first because it's going to be below your lettering, and it gets a little bit hard to select your shape when it's below your lettering and you're trying to position the lettering and everything and edit the lettering. So we're going to just come back over to where your contour line was, or your contour tool, and you're going to go drop shadow. And oh, that's not what I want. Let's do this. Alrighty, there you go. Drop shadow. Now it looks a little bit more 3D-like. It looks like it's floating above the page, which is kind of what I wanted. You don't have to. It might be a design, so you might want it clean. But this is just a mess around thing and a little stupid tutorial that I'm doing. So now we're going to go select, deselect everything, and we're going to go to text tool. We're going to type in some text. Now you can choose any font you want. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to make it 48 just for giggles, and we're gonna go black oak STD, which is what I used on the previous picture. And we're gonna type my last name. So I'm gonna do it in all caps. You don't have to, by the way. You don't have to do it in all caps. Do it however you want. This is a general tutorial, so it's do whatever you will. We're gonna type FSTER, just like that. Easy as cake, right? And if you even wanted to, if it bugs you, you can center it and go like that. Alright. This over here. So now, what we're going to want to do is we're going to make our letters not look so dull. You could leave them spaced out if you'd like and try to fit it in there, but I like more of the squished together lettering, or I guess not, squished together is a wrong word for it. More decorative and more intricate, and if someone was to cut this out of metal or something like that, or someone who was going to do it, I think it'd probably look better as one piece, or at least with this design I like it better as one piece. So let's see, we're going to go to the kern, or the shape tool, and this will allow you to kern your letters to where they're spaced, and it does it all at the same time, so it's really nice. We're going to kern them to the appropriate length. Obviously I'm not going to go like that, but or maybe do like that looks pretty good right there. So we're going to go over here and we're going to position it on top of this. Now, why did I position on top of this? Because we're going to convert this to a shape, which is convert to curves, and then that converts it to a shape that you can edit. The reason why I placed it on top of this is because we're going to shrink it down to where it would probably fit inside this shape we already have right now. The reason being is because I don't want this to be bigger than the shape, because when I perform the envelope to make the letters go inside the shape, it'll scrunch the letters together in a way that looks kind of weird, while if it's having to blow up the letters to fill the shape, it looks a little tiny bit better, and it makes it look more uniform, and it's easier to edit that way. But let's make an outline around our letters really quick. In order to do that, it's really easy. You just perform the same step as you did on your basic shape that's in the background. So what you do is you just go contour, and then you come over here and oops, go like that. You can edit it however you want. It's a little bit too thick. That looks a little better, and I think I'll keep it like that. So now you got a basic outline around your shapes as well, and around your lettering. So now it's actually time to fit the lettering inside the shape, and we're going to come check this one more time to make sure I will be able to fit that in there. It'll make it just easier. It just makes it all around easier. And now it's time to put the letters inside the shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to come, make sure you don't have anything selected. Sometimes it messes it up. Come over to Effects, and you'll see this envelope effect. We're going to click on that, and you'll notice this little sidebar comes up. So this is what we're going to use to convert it to go in there. But first we got to make it convert. So what we do is we come down here, and you click on that. Oh, you need to select the envelope tool first. And then what we do is we create form, this eyedropper right here, you click on that, and it'll create the same, you'll notice it'll create the same basic shape around your lettering as that. And then all you have to do is go apply, and there you have it. Now your text is in the same shape as this. Now it's just time to put it in there. And you notice it might be a little too big. That's fine. Just hold shift while it's selected. Go like this really quick. Make it any size you want. Now what you can do is you can come over to the shape tool and pop the lines into place. I'm not going to be perfect. There's probably a better way to do this, but I haven't found out yet. So you might look up another tutorial on that. I'm just doing this on this tutorial on this envelope tool because I thought that the fact that the old tutorial that I watched didn't have this included, it was all messed up. It was pretty bad. Pop that right there. We're gonna pop this right here. Make it kind of line up a little bit, you know, make it as straight as possible. But now you have a pretty damn good looking design. Come on. Notice some things about Corel I don't like, and some things I do like. That'll have to work. Put that. That right there looks pretty dang good. So now your letters are all inside there. Now you could leave it this way. It looks pretty good this way. You know, your letters are inside your shape, and it looks pretty good. And if you select it all, you can move it all around wherever you want, you know. But what if you wanted to make it look a little more 3D? I'll show you. It's pretty easy. What you do is you come over to here, you select your lettering. Get your lettering. And you go, where is it? Still getting used to the program. Drop shadow. Always does that. I don't know why. There we go. We're going to create another drop shadow. Try to make the drop shadow in the same direction as your last drop shadow, because if you put it up here, it's going to look kind of weird. But if you put it in the other direction, it looks 3D. So the last thing that I did on the old ones was I created a gradient on the inside of that to, oh yeah, I just turned off the envelope tool, by the way. I created a gradient inside my letters to make it appear like this side was lit up and casting a drop shadow off to this side. So what we do to do that is we just select the letters, which are already selected, go over to gradient, and it creates one for you. And the one I used was this, like that, and I toned down the color of that a little bit to create that. And that, it's simple as that. And you can move it from side to side, you know, using this right here, the X, the Y axis. You know, you could even edit the angle it's going at, and you can also edit the color. So hopefully this tutorial is a little bit better than the one that, you know, I watched on YouTube. I got a little frustrated with the one on YouTube because it didn't really explain a lot. You got a little bit of a grasp on how to kern your lettering and envelope it inside of a shape, and, you know, do anything you want, and, you know, it's looks pretty dang good. I like it, and hopefully you gain something of it or out of it. If you like this video, feel free to like it, you know, subscribe if you'd like. I don't upload videos very often, just when I'm filling something or I'm doing a project or, you know, whatever. But I'm happy to create a tutorial that is expensive enough to cover all this. And thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.